Hi, and welcome back to Living My Fest Life, a podcast about festivals, fairs, events, and experience. Everything from the nationally known to the local and obscure. And today I'm talking to comedian Ben Palizzi about the Indianapolis 500. Let's get to it.
I'm living my best life.
So Ben's getting his wine, and I have a bone to pick with Ben.
Pick.
I pick it because yesterday, I don't know if you're either really humble or if you were trying to, fuck with me.
No, I wasn't. Oh, I can't mess with people. I feel bad. Why?
So you're generally a humble person because I said to you yesterday, do you want to do my podcast? And you're like, oh, a podcast.
I was like, yeah, sure. What's up?
You go.
I was confused because you're not from here. So I was like, how are we going to, what? Okay, just
because you made it seem like, oh, you have podcast equipment with you? What's that about? And then
no one does that. That's why I was confused.
Yeah, but okay, so in my thing, I go, oh, this kid, this nice boy.
Yeah.
He's so sweet.
Yeah, in the back of my head, I was like, she has no idea that I work at a radio station.
Exactly. That's why when I added
I'd be
you,
like 3 a week.
That's why when I added you as a friend today, I was like, this dickhead made it seem like, oh, I don't know what a podcast is. You have a recorder, and literally the thing I pull up your Instagram because I didn't know anything. First thing is you're talking to a microphone, and I was like, what a dick. And then
Swipe up for the new podcast.
yes, I was like, you fucking. And then you're like a TikTok star.
Yeah, I mean, wow, I said that really quick. I was like, yeah.
I'm like, you're so humble. You're
I'm
like,
trying to be a TikTok star.
Here's the thing. You seem really good at it. You have a lot of views.
Thanks, damn.
And
Are you on there?
so I joined this last week. And I was like,
This is what we settled on the first time that you like.
I'm down.
it's nice.
I'm down.
That looks like
hey.
a gorgeous deep red. So you are a feature and you work in the road for a while and there's a nice host and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna teach this kid about comedy and we're gonna talk stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I get up and you have like 30,000 followers. I was like, oh, fuck this kid.
It's a whole different world. You have to. I would blow up on like the creepiest app too, you know?
Well, when did that start? Tell me about that because I only learned about it last week. I joined last week. I posted one thing. I tagged it with The Bachelor because we were watching The Bachelor. It got some hits, and then I made 2 more, and no one has seen them.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And then you'll post some random one day, and it'll get like 1 million. Trust me. There's a thing called Carvana. Do you know what that is? It's like a car vending machine.
Okay.
They have them all over Indianapolis, and I just went next to one because it's funny looking, and I treated it like it was a real vending machine. I was like kicking it, and I was like, my Lexus is stuck up there. Will you help me out? And I didn't even think it was that funny. I just put it on TikTok, and it got like 7 million views from all these foreign people, and I was like, what? And that's kind of how I got some followers, and I just started figuring it out and posting, I don't know, whatever you think is funny. And it's weird. It's a weird audience.
Yeah, because I went back into your Instagram and I was like, when did this happen? Because it went from like you posting all these TikToks and it's like I scrolled down, I was like all these TikToks and I found one post where it was like you just doing something and it was like 27 likes. Okay, I was like, oh, so that's before.
What was it?
It was you wearing one of those Batman masks. Who was the guy?
That was from like 2000. I was probably like 20.
Okay. So I was like, okay, so he wasn't born.
I wasn't a born star.
But that's kind of fun. Like, I think it was cool because you didn't you were like humble about it. Like, I think a lot of people, like we were talking about some of the I don't know if people have like a big following, they get like a big head or something,
Yeah.
but you're like.
It's tough to brag about TikTok, you know? Maybe if we were like 13, I'd be like, oh, follow me on TikTok. But to say that when you're like almost 30, it's like, I don't know.
I didn't even know what TikTok was until last week. And I'm like, I got to break into this thing if I'm going to be cool with the kids.
It's basically like Vine. I don't know.
I remember Vine. I was pretty good at Vine. And then they're like, it just disappeared.
You'll be good. You'll be good on TikTok. Just keep pumping them out.
No way. My like 13-year-old niece follows me. And now I feel like I have a like social responsibility to post.
Yeah, you're like, I can't cuss, I can't dance, I can't do anything. That's how I feel because like 10-year-olds follow me. But I'm like, fuck them.
Listen, they're gonna get a hard. They're already on the internet. It's gonna be a hard.
It's over. It's over for them.
So we're upstairs at the Helium Comedy Club. It's probably kind of loud. There's a door that keeps opening and closing. Adam Carolla is downstairs. You and I are upstairs in the attic with Al Jackson tonight. So tell me, like, you moved out to LA and then you moved back to Indiana.
I was out in LA for like 3.5 months just to see if I could pull something together.
That's just like a homeless person move.
It was just like, I'm going. I had my car and I just went and I just kind of lived with people, Airbnbs, just had to stay in my car a couple times just to figure it out. I was applying for jobs like crazy and just hitting shows, and I lived it for like 3 months, and then I was like, this is way too much money. And that door is really loud.
That door is, and it keeps looking at us with direct eye contact and still slamming it. And 5, 4, 3, 2.
It goes like it's gonna go in soft, and at the last second, it's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, and is she gonna? Okay, we got door clear. Okay, so that's like a total. Did you just like pull up to like? Where did you Did you have an address that you were going to? Or did you just hit like Venice Beach and I'll figure it out when I get there?
No, I had a friend that was like, you can stay with me for like 3 months, and I was like, deal. So I just did that and kind of went from his place to other people I knew out there and just tried to make as many connections as I could. And it actually worked. I met a lot of people, and I was like on some like legit shows that I shouldn't have been on. And it was cool. I definitely want to go back out, but I've got to, I got to pull some things together before I try it.
Some money. So when did you start comedy?
I started comedy like a year and 7 months ago.
Oh, fuck this guy.
What?
You're already like, I'm just going to move out to LA. It's time.
Yeah, I know, but they were like, do it, Everybody I talked to was like, just go to LA or New York. You might as well. And I was like, okay, so I did.
I mean, if the opportunity is definitely there, and especially if you have someone you can crash with, why not?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do some auditions. I auditioned for some bullshit, and it was fun.
What did you audition for?
It was like this show, or this pilot, and it was an all-black cast, and they needed one like white dude, and I was like, that's me.
No, that's Mikey Day. Sorry.
The guy on script, the guy in the
Wild
show,
and Out.
His name was Caleb, and he was like kind of the crazy
Oh, you
white
look
guy.
like a
I was
Caleb.
like, that is me. My name should be Caleb. So I did it, and they said they were gonna use me for something, but they haven't hit me up yet. So, and that's probably every single audition in LA.
No, absolutely not. If they didn't like you, they wouldn't say anything, I don't think. Why would they waste their breath to say, we'll keep you...
They're like, we got something for you. We'll let you know. And I was like, okay.
The well let you know thing. Okay, so...
Yeah.
But did you grow up in Indianapolis?
Yes.
Okay, so what was it like? I love that you have a joke about women in the Midwest who eat food, because as a normal Midwestern person, I appreciate the fact that you enjoy that.
Yeah, I just said that on stage, and I didn't mean for it. It just happened, and now I'm keeping that in there forever.
Loaded baked potato. Is that the punchline?
It's true.
We'll have some potato skins.
Yeah, I'll take a loaded potato. What are you having, pussy? And that's every time I go out to eat with a girl, I'm like, I'll have a Greek salad. And she's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, I think there's something women want to feel. Women want to feel small around their man. We don't want to know that we're carbo loading against him. And
That was you last night.
no, I was. I had the croutons on my salad, and you didn't. So I felt like the fatty.
You're like, sorry guys, I eat meat.
Sorry, I'm having chicken, and they put so much chicken on there.
I know. I was like, damn.
It was like a plate of chicken with a little bit of greens underneath. And then I went home to my hotel, and I had
Yeah, what'd you get for dessert?
M&Ms at 2:00 in the morning.
What kind of M&Ms?
Plain. Sorry.
There's something wrong with you.
Call
the cops.
I wanted more.
Plain M&Ms?
That's all they had.
Where? In the
Like the gift shop.
God, don't you just want to steal everything?
They made you scan it myself. They're like, oh, you just gotta scan. It's like a self-checkout in the little. And I was like,
What
what's
were
your
the
job?
What were the other options?
Whatchamacallit, which I have not had in a while. Reese Cup, which I considered for a very long time, but then I figured, why have two things when I can have a million?
Multiple. Yeah. Okay, I feel
And
you.
the crunch of it. And I just wanted to, I was even considering a TikTok of me just pouring them all in my mouth.
You should have.
I don't know what it is about TikTok. It makes you just kind
Makes
of...
you think. Everything you do, you're like, I wonder if I could do a TikTok with this.
Living my best life.
Grew up in Indianapolis. So what's the vibe like here when it comes to the Indianapolis 500?
Okay, Indianapolis 500 is like the biggest deal ever in this city. And I'm not a race car person. I don't know anything about racing. I grew up like with a football coach dad, so I had nothing to do with it. But I'm like, for some reason, it's my shit, you know? Like, it just is because I'm surrounded by it. But, like, the month of May is straight up Indy 500. There's a whole week that leads up to it. It's people, like, the race is on a Sunday. People start camping out the previous Monday.
Oh, wow.
It's like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a commitment.
I know. And, like, I don't care about racing at all. I don't know any drivers. I don't know anything about it.
You don't know any drivers. I bet if I told you, gun to your head, name one driver.
Mario Andretti.
There you go.
That might not be his first name.
Who cares? He's a driver.
But yeah. But I feel like a girl when it comes to like football. I'm like, he's a quarterback.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
No, did you hear
it? 500, Reggie Miller.
Did you hear it? Did you hear when I was talking to Dwight on Thursday night? He was like, I was like, oh, there's that basketball game. And he's like, oh, yeah, everybody's a Pacers fan. I was like, yeah, everybody a Detlef Schrempf fan. And he goes, where did you pull that?
the fuck
He
up.
goes, where did you pull that out of? And I go, I don't know anything about basketball, but I watch Parks and Recreation, and he was in 2 episodes.
That's funny. Is that name alone is like, what?
I was like, Indiana people love their white basketball players. We love Larry Bird. And we loved Detlef Schrempf. And so I felt very powerful knowing that one reference just because of Parks and Rec.
That's a good one. Don't say any other basketball player
Ever.
Nope.
LeBron who?
Yeah.
LeBron Schrempf. So I do know a couple racers because my family was in a NASCAR. So and Dale Earnhardt died on my birthday, and it ruined my birthday because my dad was like so upset.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Your dad was like, I don't care about
I
you.
know my dad was like, just
There's bigger things. There's bigger.
get whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. Life is short.
Get whatever you want.
Yeah, I remember I had ordered a, you know when like you can get like a virgin daiquiri when you're a kid?
Yeah.
I got like a dreamsicle one, and it was like
Oh, that
this
sounds
tall.
good.
And we get in the car, and they said, NASCAR driver Dale Earnhardt has crashed and died. And my dad's like, no.
Oh
So
shit.
sad.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So like, do you consider racing to be a sport?
I like how they classify it as like a motor sport.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like a sport like you're running and stuff, you know.
But
It's
I'm
just
sure, you know what?
different-
I'm sure there is like tactics you have to do. There's plays or
it's
some
hard
shit.
as hell
And then I'm
to-
sure they're gripping their abs the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, they're like on rockets basically the whole time. Like you got to definitely have skill. Like you're trying, like basketball players are trying to win, and racing you're trying not to die.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's definitely
You guys aren't on the basketball court just trying not to die?
Yeah, it's a different thing, different level.
Okay, so Indianapolis 500, people camp out a week beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
Now, where is the track located? Is it in Indianapolis, the city, or is it a little bit outside?
It's on the west side of Indianapolis, which is still Indianapolis, but it's like 10 minutes from downtown. It's not like in the center of downtown. That would be cool, but it's like 10 minutes away, and it's
Yeah, why did you think Indianapolis settled on to become the place for this huge event?
I have just the history, and they just built the biggest racetrack, and it just became a thing over time.
If you build it,
that's
they will
probably
come.
not accurate at all. I don't know any facts about this.
Let me look it up. Let's see. I looked up Indianapolis thrift stores. Indianapolis.
I should know this. The track is
500.
so big. Like you can fit so much crap inside. You can fit like the Yankee Stadium. There's like 8 things you can fit. There's a golf course that takes up like a quarter of it. There's a Google image, and it has like all these different things you can fit in there, and it's amazing. You can fit like the Kentucky Derby in there like 7 times. It's just
Oh shit.
yeah, it's a huge deal. Like celebrities come and watch the race. It's nuts.
So IndyCar racing isn't the same as NASCAR.
No, I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to kill your vibe. seem like
You
a
already
car girl.
no, you already insulted women with sports, so I don't.
Whoops.
I don't really feel like you need to hold back for my sake, because I feel like a girl not knowing who the quarterback is.
I do.
Thank you for that much credit. Okay, so IndyCar racing is not the same as NASCAR. What?
NASCAR are like cars, and then IndyCar is like those, you know what I'm talking about. They look like a lot.
Pew pew.
Yeah, like that. That's what those cars
Like a
are.
little video game car. Okay, so the first race was held in 1911.
I guess.
Can you believe it's been going on that long?
Kind of, because it's such a big deal. I can't even People
So
care
what's
about
it like
so
to
much.
be in Indianapolis during the race week?
You can literally hear the cars go around the track.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you can hear that from so far away.
Which makes me, I went to one NASCAR event one time, Kentucky Speedway, and I had earplugs in, and I still felt like I was going to die. Like, I don't know how people deal with that.
You just kind of, after the first couple, you just kind of get used to it and keep it rolling. And
I don't think you get used to it. I think your hearing goes out, and you're like, this is fine now.
that, or you just get pissed drunk like everyone else at the race. That's like the thing. You can camp out in the infield, you can go on the outside, but like there's different lots you can be at during the race, and everybody's like, oh, go to turn 4, go to turn 3, turn 2 is the place to be, like all this kind of stuff.
Everybody has their preference.
Yes.
You're like, just go to the bathroom.
Come to the Coke lot. Yeah, it's a mess in there. Seriously, everybody, you pull your car inside the track and you park, and then you just party, and you can do that all week.
So do you think people watch the race as much as they party?
No, it's impossible. It really is. There's too much crap going on. Cars are you can't even see the cars. You know what I mean? You just kind of sit there, get a sunburn, and get drunk.
I'm sure some people go to watch it, but to watch that many, I mean, how long does a race like that usually take? It's got to be hours.
Yeah, it's probably hours. Every time I've been kind of So
Like, you're like, when's the green flag? Like, oh.
I seriously don't know anything about racing, so I'm like, yeah, okay, I think it's almost over. It's been going for like an hour and a half. It's probably time to like get the cooler in the car type thing.
Okay, so women started participating in, they weren't even allowed into the pit to report on the sport until 1971. But there have been 9 female drivers that have qualified for the Indianapolis 500, and it started in 1977. So, do you know any?
I mean, Danica Patrick, household name.
Right. What is it, GoDaddy?
Yeah, GoDaddy.com. Every Super Bowl forever saw her, but I mean, I think she. I can't remember how she did.
She was in the lead for a while. Led 19 laps.
Pippa Mann's a big name too.
Yeah.
Recently.
Raced the Indy 5 consecutive times. 5 consecutive times.
No, that's dope. Because you got to qualify. You can't just be like, I want to do it. Like, you got to go through some shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's a huge deal.
Yeah. And so this might be like one of the, like, I don't know, like, this might be the, I'm trying to think of big name places, the Apollo for us, or like whatever. Like, you can't just go up there if you're not.
It's the largest, I forget what they say. This is bad, but it's the biggest spectacle in racing. That's it. The largest spectacle and biggest spectacle. That's what it's called.
Whatever the most grammatically incorrect way.
Yeah.
It's the most biggest race.
Most biggest race track.
Okay, so you say you have gone a couple times. And do you feel like it's more of a rednecky vibe, or do you feel like it's like, we're all from Indiana, this is our place, and no matter if you like this sport or not, we're going to come out and support?
That's like a quarter of the people there, because there's so many people, and then the other part that's there is just straight, like, okay, there's serious race fans, there's a little redneck there, there's a little, come on, and then there's just people that want to party and drink. That's like it. And then there's, all the drivers and teams. That takes up a lot of crap too. But
did you go in like being like, I'm gonna root for somebody?
Sometimes you bet with people. Like,
oh, okay. So
yeah.
there's no like, it's not like the Kentucky Derby where you're like, I want this one to win because I got money on it.
A little bit. No, people definitely bet on that, but it's not to the extreme like that. But usually when I go, it's just, come on, we're chilling, we're going inside, we'll do whatever. There's like they have a thing called the Snake Pit. And it's like a music festival during the race.
Shut up! That's so cool.
Hell yeah, that's how they get like all the like younger, just like I kind of want to party people in there, because that's like
the Snake Pit.
They bring. I know. How nasty.
I wish it was like really full of rattlesnakes, and it was just like Clara has to run across it to go find Hannah because they got separated.
That's my kind of snake.
That's a good sport.
Yeah, but they bring like a hell of people in there, like electronic DJs and stuff like that.
Really? Why would electronic DJ?
I don't know.
Just a robot that pushes buttons.
It's kind of what it is.
Okay, but do they bring in country artists? I'm assuming.
It's sometimes the last time I went, it was like Marshmello, kind of a. Mm-hmm. Diplo's been there a million times, but it's like that kind of vibe. It's just kind of like a rave.
That's not what I would have pictured at all.
I swear that thing takes over. And that's a lot of the reason people go there.
Okay, what about like food?
Food. People are grilling, and you can like literally walk from one side to the other and just get all the free food you want. People are grilling. Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Just walk around with an empty plate.
You could just be like, hey, can I get some? And people are like, oh, come on. Yeah, you want to sit and talk? It's like a huge barbecue for like 1 million people.
Now, do you think that the Midwest hospitality and like
Yes. I don't even know what you're going to ask, but yes.
It's just like the salt of the earth people that like want to make sure everybody else is having a good time.
Exactly. That's what the whole thing is. Like, if I fell down, like 30 people from different corners of the race would be like, is he okay? Is he okay? Is he okay? Seriously, it's a good vibe.
I know, and I feel like I go to like a lot of festivals where it's like I feel like it's almost every person for themselves.
No, not at the Indy 500. You're like an entire family. I think that's why people like it.
Do you see kids there?
Yeah, there's definitely kids there because they go with their parents and they're just like, whatever, and they're just hanging out.
Like, well, we have to be here for 6 days camping out before the race. It's not like you're not going to bring your kids.
Babysitter. We can't get a babysitter for this one.
Yeah. Do they have their RVs with them usually, or is it just like...
There's a whole lot for RVs, and that thing is filled up. It's called the Coke lot. There's like a Coke plant. There's like a Coke center out there where where it's like a factory, and there's just all this grass and crap, and people just park there for a week, seriously, and camp there in their RV.
And if you don't know what to reference, there's a very nice movie Pixar made. Lightning McQueen is... Oh, they're going to go in the balcony.
Turn up.
They came out last. Oh, the balcony's getting full.
Yeah, dude, it's fat.
And here comes the door. Why?
I wonder if someone's out there just counting these door slams.
Yeah.
Like, that's 40.
Is there any other kind of thing that they can look forward to?
You can go up there in a suite. You can get your own room and just like chill by yourself up there in air conditioning. It's fine. But if you don't even want to mess with the Indy 500, this is what I do. I'd come to Indianapolis. I would, like afternoon, I'd hit the Children's Museum. Doesn't matter if you have kids or not. It's still like one of the best museums ever. You could hit the zoo. The zoo in Indianapolis is dope.
Dude, I just drove by the Children's Museum. They have those giant life-size like dinosaurs in the...
Who doesn't want to go there?
It looks fun.
I want to go.
Someone told me to go to Traders Point Creamery because they said they have cute like walking trails where you can walk by the animals. And so I show up at like 5:10. And I was like, I hear there's nature trails where you can walk by the cows. They're like, we just put all the cows away at 5 o'clock. And I was like, okay, bye. I like 10 minutes after. And I had drove like 25 minutes to get there.
Yeah, don't go to Traders Point. I don't even know what that is. I don't want to. I mean, it's probably cool, but go when it's warm. Yeah, Children's Museum, zoo is dope. Just walking around downtown is nice. Indianapolis isn't like a huge city. You can walk through it and it's nice. It's clean. It's cool. Hit a Pacers game. That's kind of like a cool event.
You guys have so many good sports here.
Yeah, I mean a Colts game is pretty much like that's a performance. Like you block out a day for that. But
Indianapolis is such a cool town. Like I think it doesn't get enough credit because people hear Ohio and Indiana and can, like all these Midwestern places and you don't think, but these are huge ass cities with, sports teams with so many championships and all this history and people who just like to have a good time. So there's tons of stuff to do.
It's a convenient city. And a Pacers game isn't like oh God, we got to sit through a basketball game. It's like a show. Like Bankers Life Fieldhouse is like a nice place to go, get some food. Basketball games don't take that long. Just go hang out and then hit like a cool restaurant after, and that's your day.
Anything else about, Indianapolis 500 that you would tell people if they were going to go?
Okay, if you're going to go, I would do this. I would just go for one day. Go for Carb Day, which is like...
Excuse me?
Carb Day, it sounds like you're just going to eat like bread and shit the whole day, but Carb Day is when they like test their engines, the guys that are going to be in the race. They do that on Friday. Saturday is just kind of like a chill day, and then Sunday's the race. But Carb Day is like a party day. It's like, it's Carb Day, we got to go to the race.
Okay, hold on. They go to test their engines.
They go to it's like a check day. Yeah, okay. Kind of.
So make sure all their stuff. So their cars or their vehicles or whatever have carburetor. Shut up. I'm like,
listen. Like Sprite. They pour Sprite on their cars.
they have been transported there, right? Obviously, they didn't drive it because of the mileage on
But
there.
they've been like doing test laps and prelims all week, and like Friday's like the final day where they're like, let's get this shit ready for Sunday, and that's when it goes down.
I just like the idea of that. They're like, hey guys, we're gonna make the vroom vrooms go beep beep. Do you guys all want to come over and watch?
They just check their lock buttons. Boop boop. That's mine right there. We're good.
I think it locks and unlocks. I can get in and out of it.
Okay, yeah. Go for carb day or the race day. If you're not really like into it that much, I wouldn't camp out overnight because you run into where do I shower. That's the thing that always held me up from camping out. I'm like, I don't want to be like nasty for the race, you know. I just want to.
You don't want to be nasty for all the other nasty people there.
Like, I want to be fresh. But I'd go for carb day or race day, definitely. Just pick one day. Don't go for like 7, unless you're into that.
Yeah, I think that's a fun day to go because it seems like kind of the kickoff and everybody. And then is the snake pit thing the whole week, or is that
No,
like
that's just race day. Like at like noon, they start like pumping it up in there. But like the stuff, like you got to get to the race at like 6 a.m. So it's a full day.
Ugh,
I know, but it's fun because you're like, it's a fun day, you know, so you don't mind waking up.
I guess.
And the traffic's, you want to beat traffic, but then everybody's trying to beat traffic, so then there's traffic.
Just be prepared to be there all day and enjoy it.
Bring some SPF because you're going to need that.
Oh, gosh. And just like enjoy the madness that's around you. Okay, last question. If you were on a team, would you be the driver or would you be in the crew? And if you were in the crew, what would you want to be?
I'd want to be the driver just because, like, duh. But if I wasn't, I would be in the crew, and I'd want to be that tire guy that's just like, I love that noise. I just want to do that.
I just feel like fingers, everybody's fingers. Like, I feel like they do it so fast.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like the noise. Like, I wouldn't even be screwing the right things in, but I'd still be That's what I want to do.
I would want to be the person who has like a clean rag. And what you do is you run out and you clean the windshield really quick, and then you go, have a great race, or you're doing great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
give it a little kiss.
Good.
Get out of here.
You get out of here. We got your new tires. You go out and run a couple more laps. We'll see you next time, okay? Just like the motivational windshield cleaner. Yeah, that's what I would do.
I'm living my best life.
Anything else you want to say? Do you want to plug anything? What's your TikTok?
TikTok is Benedict Polizzi, BENEDICT POLIZZI. That's the same for Instagram, and on Twitter I'm Ben Polizzi, BENPOLIZZI. That's pretty much where you can find me. And I have a podcast called Espresso on Apple Podcasts.
And what's your podcast about?
Podcast it's kind of a comedy, everything, internet, you know, just like what's going on, viral podcast.
So if I were a woman who probably needs to connect with a younger audience because of these new apps that are coming out, these new memes, these new sayings, I could listen to your podcast.
You'd love it. You really would. It's not like sports, two guys talking sports. It's me and my friend who's like, he's blowing up right now on Twitter.
I'm blowing up
for sports. He's blowing up. No, it's me and him. We talk comedy. We talk what's going on the internet. We talk new stuff. It's just, it's a.
So you give like a rundown.
Yeah.
Like a pop culture rundown.
It's a very pop culture-y show.
Okay.
It's good.
I like that. Espresso.
Espresso. It's Italian, you know, energy, bang.
Bang. There we go. It's an espresso. Okay.
I'm living my best life.
Special thanks to Ben for being my guest. Indianapolis 500. Never thought I would cover it. So glad that I am. And hey guys, I know festival seasons out there are getting canceled, so we're going to talk about that soon. I know the scare of the coronavirus is getting a lot of people concerned about going out in crowded places. Hopefully this is not something that's going to affect us long term. Fingers crossed, because festivals are fun, but I'm going to give you an update about that next week. If you have an episode idea for Living My Fest Life, you can send it to festlifepodcast@gmail.com. As always, thank you so much to Phil for doing the editing for our show. This one was probably a doozy. Much respect to you and your mad editing skills. And we'll see you next time. Go fest yourself.
If you're broke,
Then save your money.